Hey guys, how you doing? I'm just waiting for my diesel heater to turn off. Just turn it off, and because I find that when I have it running in the background, you can't hear as well, or at least I think you can't, but we'll see what happens. So we'll wait for it to sort of turn off. It takes about a couple of minutes for the diesel heater to actually turn off. But it's definitely not as loud as when it was running a few minutes ago before I started this video. So I think I could start this video. Let's talk about online. Let's talk about this whole thing that I'm doing right now. And this may be related, van related. In a way, circuitously, it is related. First of all, I do have a van build, and I belong to several Facebook groups. I belong to groups on Reddit. And it's one way for me to showcase the work that I've done that I'm actually very proud of. I'm happy about it, and I'm hoping that when I do post some of this stuff, that it's helpful, that somehow it's motivating, it's inspiring you, that yeah, it's possible to create something that can work for you. My original van build, was a no build. In other words, none of this was actually the way it is right now. It was as simple as it was going to get. A way for me to sleep, a way for me to store some food, a way for me to be comfortable, and so on and so forth. So it was called a no build. And over time, I built this out. And part of that time, I was documenting as much as I can how I was building out this van. And so as I'm building out this van, along the way, I started to take pictures and some videos. And as I'm taking pictures and videos, I started posting them onto my original Instagram account, which was a fitness account. And then fast forward to now, I now have a Instagram account dedicated to my van build. That way it's all in one place, right? It's not mixing in with my fitness stuff. I also, like everybody else, I started the YouTube for me, and I'm sharing my van life. I'm sharing my van life experience. I'm sharing what I've learned to anyone who may be interested, and anyone who's not interested, that's okay too. You could do something else, right? And I've been doing this at different groups on Reddit, on Facebook, and there's one thing that always happens. And it's actually quite surprising, and I actually don't understand why it happens. I have my ideas why it happens, but it happens. So here's a typical thing that I'll do. Okay, well, I take a picture of my build, I post it, and it never used to happen in the beginning, but now it's happening a bit more than usual. There's always some type of really negative comment about my build. And I'm thinking, okay, why would you say that? Why would you say XYZ? Why is your build XYZ? Or blah, blah, blah. They would say something extremely negative. And I thought to myself, well, if they don't like it, that's fine. I'm thinking, anything else? A majority of people are very nice. They say, oh, it looks great and everything. And I'm happy about that because I am proud of the work I do. But I guess it's sort of like when you draw something, you draw a picture and you really like it. And then somebody comes along and sort of tries to quash you by saying, oh, that picture sucks. Or even when somebody is really passionate about something and they love what they're doing, and then people or an individual are just being negative about it. I really believe that if you're that type of person that tramples on anyone who has a passion for something that they love, I think you're the worst type of person. That's how I feel about people like that. As such, there is one thing that I will always do, and I continue to do, and it's helped me a lot. I think it's important to understand that I don't know who these people are. Okay? I don't know who they are. I don't know where they're from. I don't know what they look like. And obviously they've got an issue. So they're a miserable person. So what I typically do, and it's really simple, you just hit that block button. That's it. You're done. You know, in the real world, there are people that I wish I could block, but I can't because, you know, that's not how the real world works. However, online, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Reddit, right, you can always block them. Now, there is some scenarios where it actually turned out okay. On Reddit, I had a few trolls chime in, and I ignored them. I didn't sort of fire back at them. But then about several months later, they were actually liking my stuff and saying nice things about it, which is kind of freaked me out. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. But what I didn't do was think about it too much. But, you know, if you do think about too much when someone comments negatively about your post, your stuff, that's okay. It's called being human. The part where it becomes a problem is when you concentrate on it, when you obsess over what they said. Really, they're not thinking about you after they've made that mean comment. There are mean people out there. That's just the way this planet works. There will always be mean people, and they're insulting you, and you have several options. You can react to it, you can accept the insult, or you can just say, you know, I'm going to keep going on. And that is difficult to do. Not everybody succeeds. I know I don't always succeed. But if I take my time enough, I do succeed. I think it works out that I end up not really thinking about it too much, and effectively I just block them. And that's one way to do it. So on Facebook, individuals who have made unsavory comments about my stuff for whatever reason, because they're a hater, I think that's the expression, right? I just block them. And if you make a negative comment about this video, which I feel is invalid, or you're just being mean, you know, I will block you too. But I think a majority of people don't do that. So on some of the groups, I have what's called a block party. So what I do is I go through, before I go to a group, I check out the responses, and I can tell you that it's a really good way, first of all, to find out what the group is like, what the decorum is, I'll use an old expressions called the movers and shakers are. Who are they? Who are the ones that really make this place matter? Who are the helpers? Who are the ones that are going to give good advice? And then you're going to find somebody who is just downright negative, who's just, you could tell this person, they're sketchy, they've got a problem, they've got a mean streak about them. What you do is, and what I do is, I block them. I go through a bunch of threads before I join a group. And wherever I see a mean comment, I'm not talking about one comment, but maybe several ones. There's ones that are just plain mean. I just block them. And one could say, well, you know, that's a lot of work. But you know it's a lot of work? When your emotions get into play because something somebody said who you don't even know irritated you. That's a lot of work. It's really easy to block. You just go to their profile and block them. And that's what you could do. You can have a party. You can have a block party. So anyone who, on a Facebook group, for example, at a Reddit group, anywhere that you don't like, you can just block them. And it's worked out well for me, and I'm happy about that. You know, this is a video that I didn't think I would make, but, you know, it is part of sort of what I'm doing with my van, because I am publicly sharing a lot of myself and what I do publicly, right? And much the same way they're allowed to take a look at my stuff because it is public, I'm allowed to block them and everything about them. So it works both ways. So obviously for them to say something mean to me, they don't like my stuff, so why bother? I'm just going to block them. I'm just going to block them. That's all you have to do. Simple, simple, simple. And yeah, you could be blocking for a long time. Or the best thing is sometimes just ignore it. Just like let it just like go through, because those people are miserable. And when individuals make you feel bad for something you're passionate about, it's not nice. And if you're that type of individual that does that kind of stuff, then you're the worst type of individual. And that's all I can say about that. Okay, so I'm done the video. Look, if this video was somehow helpful, please like and subscribe. Again, this is just a last minute video that I did because it's coming up more and more. And I think there's a reason for that, is because more and more people are getting to know my build. And along with that, I'm going to incur the ire of individuals who don't like maybe my van, maybe the way I speak, maybe what I look like. Who knows? I really don't know. Or maybe my manner. I don't know, and I really don't care. And so that's the goal that I have, is I'll just block them. Of course, there have been times when it's just downright creepy, so at that point I may have to call the authorities or whatever the case may be. Yeah, and that's about it. So if you have any questions about my van build, you're welcome to put the question at the bottom there in the comment section. And you know, if you're interested in some of the cooking that I've done in my van, I do have a cooking playlist. I've got some really badly filmed van tours that show my van the way it is. You know, I recently did a kitchen tour, very detailed one. At least I thought it was detailed, so that might be helpful. And if you want, you can go all the way back to just over a year ago and see my earlier videos, and also see how it sort of progressed over time. Okay, and thanks very much. And remember, you're awesome. It doesn't matter what anybody says. You're awesome. You can plan it out, you can execute, and you can get stuff done.